Good morning, it's Tasha here with Tasha Talks to Teens, and I wanted to let people know that these videos, with the help of Dana of Chick Flicks, we've been able to take some of the Facebook Lives and put them onto YouTube, and so know that that may be an easier way to share this information with your kids and with your teenagers and across the channel, so please do that. And I also wanted to let people know that we are open. So there is new legislation that's come forward from the College of Alberta Psychologists that unless it's emergent, we're not seeing any patients inside clinic space. But the four of us that work here at Tasha Psychology, we've all got set up so that we can offer online telesupport to people. So it's not as nice as getting to see a counselor and be with a young person in real time, but being able to see the face through a computer screen and be able to talk and offer some support to young people or to parents that are struggling with how to build some routine and manage some emotions at their home. Know that there is support out there, and so please reach out if you're someone that your family is looking for some support through this time. We know that just because we have a pandemic on doesn't mean that whatever was percolating and a struggle in your home, and most definitely with mental health issues, that they're just going to disappear. And so let's think of it in a preventative way and make sure that people are getting support despite what's going on in terms of the global issues of our time. So I wanted to let people know that it's my birthday today. So I have actually brought a little cupcake to celebrate with everyone. And I'm actually going to light my little candle. And so everyone has different birthday traditions. I know that at some point today my mom will call and sing happy birthday to me in a high opera voice, and I enjoy it every year, but it's kind of a classic thing that I really enjoy. And then she always reminds me at the end that one day when she dies, I will miss that phone call, which is absolutely true. It's kind of morbid to think about, but yeah, it's kind of a neat tradition that's been happening for years and years. And so I wanted to kind of bring a highlight too to what we know about lighting a candle. And I wonder if when you think of like goofy things that you used to maybe wish for when you had your birthdays when you were younger, what those used to be. And so I can let you know, and this is like me being a kid with curly hair, and living in a biracial family. My mom's Caucasian. She had no idea how to take care of black hair. So I had like weird, crispy, lumpy, afro-y hair my whole life. And so honest to goodness, every single time I remember having a birthday cake from age probably 5 to honestly, like I'm talking 12 years old, like way past the time of thinking that wishes came true like that, I would wish for straight, long, blonde hair. And so I had this like vision of like using my birthday wish every year to have like flowy hair that the wind would blow. And now, that wish is no longer one that I have, but I kind of wonder from other people, what was your wish that you used to have? Was it like, oh my gosh, I am going to use my birthday wish because I want a mini motorbike? Or did you always want a horse? I'd love to know your wishes. You guys know mine, straight blonde hair. And also highlighting kind of candles and bringing some light into a time that's not so in some ways it can be a time to reflect and really hone in on what's super important and spend more time with family, and practicing self-care because you have the time to do it. And I think lighting a candle there's deep symbolism to it as well. And so when we think of any time in life when it's kind of dark and it's hard to see, obviously bringing some light in sort of illuminates perspective, and opens us up to new possibilities where we can see things that maybe we didn't see before. And so I invite people to light candles with your dinner at nighttime, whether it's your birthday or not, that doesn't matter. It's such a beautiful way to symbolize that we can cherish beautiful moments and bring some really positive energy and some light into a space that can sometimes feel pretty overwhelming and dark. you might even start a tradition at your home where you have everyone shares a gratitude about something that was kind that happened for them that day, or even just discussing something that has happened in your community or globally that feels like it's a tip in the right direction. And I know on Saturday, and I don't know if this is just in Calgary or all through Alberta or Canada, but at 8:30 on Saturday, we're invited to turn on our porch lights and stand on our front doorsteps and cheer and clap and shout out to all the frontline workers that are helping to keep our people healthy and fed and society running as smoothly as possible. So please be part of that. That would be really cool. My wish today is going to be personal, and I promise you it is not blonde hair. But anyways, happy birthday. If other people are celebrating their birthdays today, happy birthday to you. And I wanted to let people know about a way that we know is very helpful in terms of coping with anything in life. And so not everyone has a really supportive family that they're living with right now. On my way into work today, I work at a medical clinic, and there's a man that has his car parked outside just down the street, and he's living in his vehicle right now. And in Calgary, it's freezing here. It's still well below zero. There's snow on the ground. And I've seen him over the last few days. That's where he's making his home. And I can't help but think just how sad and lonely he must be. He doesn't have, it doesn't seem to me like even a little fuzzy animal that can keep him company. And so he's probably someone that over the next few days, I haven't seen him before. I've probably been too busy and preoccupied to notice him, or maybe it's a new spot he's decided to park his car and live. But he would be someone that I can still offer some kind wishes to. And sometimes, there are many people that might not always really feel like they have tons of supports in their life. And regardless of where we are, whether we're living in a car or we're in a home that has tons of food in the fridge and a loving family, or something that feels quite opposite to that, I'm living with people that I don't always want to be with, or I'm feeling really overwhelmed and really alone and quite anxious and quite sad. Taking a step back to remind ourselves of who we have in our support team is really, really important. And I really want people to know that at any point in your life, we are never, never alone. And so I wanted people to take a moment to think about, if you thought about who you could imagine standing around you that would be celebrating your birthday with you, or when you went through a hard time, who might be there to offer you some kind words, or maybe give you a pat on the back or an arm up. Who would those people be? Is it, when you think of imagine the people that sort of love you and stand around you in spirit, and so they may not even be alive anymore, but they may be still people that you really view as a support in your life. Is it a teacher that you once had? Is it your parent? It might be a grandparent or a special aunt or uncle. It could be a neighbor, a religious leader. It might even be your counselor. And use those relationships and people that have impacted your life, use them as a way to help yourself in this moment. And I would invite you to write a letter from this person to you. So if it was your counselor, it might be your counselor's, what that person, he, she, they would celebrate and see that are strengths in you, assets, reflections of how strong you've been in the past, and why that person knows that you're going to be able to get through whatever struggle comes your way. And I took some time to write a letter like this myself. It could be a letter that you wish someone had given to you that you didn't get. So beautiful sentiments, or an apology, or I want you to remember this and hold me in your heart in this way. And again, the beauty of our imagination is that we can create things that might not have been exactly the way things worked, but we have the power of rewriting the story of who we are, and we have the power of rewriting the words that we wish that we heard that maybe we didn't, or reminding ourselves, and the power to remind ourselves of those beautiful things that we know that if we were sitting with our counselor right now, they would lean over and tell us this stuff. Or our mom or dad that's passed away that might offer us a hug and tell us how much they care about us, and that, like anything in life, there are hard things that come to anybody, and that we need to remind ourselves of what we do each day to get through it. And so I wrote a little letter that I probably will reread many times. And I did it this morning, and so I might rewrite it with a little bit more oomph to it. And I wanted to remind myself of my ancestry. So this is not only just, someone in my support team that I've met in real time, but I want to reflect on the history of part of my culture. My dad was from the West Indies, from Trinidad, and the people of Trinidad came there through slavery, and that not everyone has that as part of their history. But man, when you think of being able to cope with adversity and pain, to not have freedom or rights, and for generations of people to fight for freedom, for the ability to be literate, to own property, to get married, and oh my gosh, so many things. There are some deep roots that I can reflect on that help me know that where I am now, I've got some genes and some blood that lets me know that I'm really strong. And so for me and my support team, my ancestors would be there kind of rooting me on. And I think too, not only do we need to reflect on who's come before us and how we got to where we are, but also we are leaving seeds for next generations, and we're leaving a world for next generations. What do we want to leave for them? So I might read to myself this letter that if you want to address it to how you were described when you were younger, a nickname or something like that, because it may be from a grandparent that's no longer alive, use your nickname, make it really personal. Dear so-and-so, and these are the things that I want you to know, and that I love about you. And when life, sends you some lemons, this is some ways that you can maybe make some lemonade, and sign it properly, like love so-and-so, and reread this stuff to wake up that connection in your heart and get that attachment center of your brain firing that we know helps to produce oxytocin, which is, it's often called the cuddle hormone. We know that it helps to relax our nervous system and help us to feel more calm, to cope with stress better and boost our immunity. So here's my little letter. Dear Tasha Lou, and that's what I was called by many people when I was a little kid. Never forget how strong you are. Never forget your worth and the power of your words when they are spoken from your heart. You come from a strong family and strong people. Remember the struggles and triumphs of your heritage. These are the seeds that you need to water. You are never truly alone. We are watching over you. Love, your African ancestors. And so that would be part of my support team. And if you want to share it with me, you can send it through Messenger. I will happily be someone who witnesses kind of your words and can offer you a reflection back. The power of this is not only in taking the time to think about who you want to have with their arms on you, kind of supporting you, to write the letter, but I think there's added power and oomph when you actually speak it aloud. And I'd invite you to light a candle when you're doing it, and create a really beautiful set of letters that help you take care of you, because you really are never alone. Until tomorrow, remember to breathe and be well.